So today I want to talk a little bit about kids, homeschooling, and their innate abilities, but also their innate characteristics. Um, so I've been a dad now for 7 years. I've got two kids, one's 5 and one's 7, Rowan and Naomi. And it's probably the best thing that I've ever done. And so in this topic or this show, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done around our yard to help save our poor vegetable garden when they're around, but also to help build their self-confidence and connection with nature. So as I was mentioning in the intro, I've been a dad for about 7 years, and it's been incredible. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done. It's been the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And we've really, there's a bee, look at that. You know it's spring when, actually that's not a bee, that's a wasp. You know it's spring when they start coming out. And I'm just gonna move away from it because I actually am a little bit allergic to wasps. Anyhow, one of the things that you'll notice when you have kids is that they just have this innate ability to create chaos. Bill Mollison has this quote that says basically, when any system is oversupplied with energy, it goes into chaos. And I've often wondered, watching my children, whether or not that is one of their innate characteristics. You can look at different types of animals on the farm, like cows, chickens, pigs. They all have their own characteristics, and then within their own breeds they have their own characteristics as well. Some are better at grazing, some are better at living in the bush, some are really good at foraging, and it depends on the breed and the species and all of that other stuff. And so watching kids for the last few years and being kind of really interested in ecology, I've kind of come to the conclusion that humans are inherently entropic. We basically make entropy. And there's no point really fighting it. It's just kind of a reality. So we mine coal and we turn it into carbon dioxide and electricity and steel. And we mine oil and we mine gold, and we farm, we turn ecosystems into grain and different things. And generally, wherever we go, we create entropy. Now, entropy is the measure of disorder. And I think when we really kind of wrap up what climate change is and a lot of environmental destruction, what we've systematically been doing is we've been creating entropy, so releasing tightly bound resources into the atmosphere, into the oceans, into our soils, while we're systematically reducing the only system that actually captures energy and reduces entropy. So by that I mean ecology seemingly goes in the opposite direction of humanity, in that plants, forests, ecosystems generally actually reduce the overall entropy of the vicinity of that specific ecosystem. So as we deforest, as we plant monocultures, we're actually removing nature's ability to reduce entropy. And so I've thought a lot about that in terms of watching my kids, because they don't ever have to be told to create entropy. They just do it. They just go out and they create chaos. And so whenever you're designing a system, you kind of have to understand the innate characteristics of the species or the space or whatever function you're trying to create. And so given the innate capacity of our children's ability to create chaos, we've actually created a mud kitchen. So, sorry, the sun's in my eyes there. This mud kitchen is basically their chaos corner, and they can do whatever they want here. And I'm sure our neighbors can't stand looking at this, but this is the result of their last restaurant day. And so I think they had made some lobster bisque there, and I think that looks the same, but I think that was supposed to be an oatmeal or something. And they've got a muffin tray there, and you'll notice that they're purple. They found some styrofoam somewhere and they mineralized that. And just generally, as you can see, they're creating this incredible amount of chaos on our back driveway, which is actually accumulating along the edge, funny enough. So we can actually harvest the soil getting accumulated right here. So The reason I wanted to talk about mud kitchens was, and this kind of chaos corner, was because I'm actually building a mud kitchen right now for Naomi's. There she is. Say hi, Naomi. Hi. I'm creating a mud kitchen right now for the mud fair. One of the things that we've done with our kids is we've sent them to forest school for the last 4 years. Rowan's kind of gone through the program, and now Naomi's just going through the program. And so here is the mud kitchen. It's kind of hard to see, it's just a frame right now. And so this mud kitchen is going to basically sit at the Calgary Forest School, which is where our kids have gone to forest school over the last few years. And it's going to create a space for kids to basically be kids. And this is the thing that we've found that gets taken away from a lot of kids when they go to conventional schooling systems, which is really unfortunate. Living in a city as well, it can be tough sometimes to give kids the ability or access to the outdoors that you once had. One of the things that I've thought about as I've been raising my kids is how when I was a kid about 7 years old, I was able to go to the candy store all on my own, like 2 or 3 kilometers away from my house. And now I can't even let my kids out of my sight. Otherwise, I'll be reported as an irresponsible parent. So, we're rapidly degrading the quality of life that children have by overprotecting them, I think. And so forest school is a small attempt at giving our kids some of that same experience that we had growing up. And it's funny because they actually have to advertise it as dangerous play, which is kind of ironic because it's just kids being kids. So anyways, there's going to be a mud fair at the end of June, and I'll put all the details in the show notes below. If you're in Calgary and you want to experience what it's like to be a kid, because you get to participate as well, and let your kid be a kid, come out to this forest school mud fair day. It's absolutely hilarious. It's fun. Naomi, do you want to talk about how awesome mud fair is?
I'm not really
Naomi's a little bit sick right now, so come on out. We're going to be there. The mud kitchens are going to be for sale. They're going to auction them off. And, you can come and talk to us or any of the other parents that have their kids in forest school if you're looking at joining something like that. And I'd love to talk to you about it. It's an amazing experience for children and for adults as well. So check out the show notes for all the details on Mud Fair. And I'd love to see you out there. And, the forest school is always looking for people to contribute mud kitchens as well. So get in touch with the Calgary Forest School. I'll leave their information in the show notes below as well. And hopefully we'll see you there. Okay, have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.